Dear friends, in this video, I'd like to talk about one very important technique, which is Metasploit framework. As a professional pen tester, we must get to know how to use this Metasploit framework very well. Before we go there, I'd like to introduce some concepts first. For example, the first one, what is vulnerability exactly? In cybersecurity, a vulnerability refers to a weakness or flaw in a system, network, or application or process that could become an entry point for an attack. As you can see, this figure, I use this figure as example. This house is some sort of a network which need to be protected. And, there's some gates like gate 1, gate 2, and also windows. Window 1, window 2, and window 3. Of course, for the gates and windows, there's some sorts of security measures in place. This case would be lock. However, for the Windows 3, its lock is broken. It means that the security measures cannot take effect. So in this case, this Windows 3 is, or insecure window is vulnerability for this house or for this network. And intruder is attacker. Okay? So what is exploit? Exploit are nothing but a technology that is used to take advantage of a vulnerability or weak point of system to gain access to it. And exploit is usually some sort of the code, exploit code, or some sort of a program to take advantage of discovered vulnerability. I'd like to use the house example again. So this case, for example, the Windows 3 is vulnerability or insecure window as vulnerability. However, the window is a bit high, and we need to, we need to get some help from the ladder or the rope. So the exploit is the rope or the ladder, the sieve, used to reach the open or insecure window. Okay? So what's payload? I think the payload is the part of the exploit, and this payload will perform some actual malicious actions, for example, like upload, download, open up the webcam. So they are nothing but a piece of code, and the hacker wants to execute after exploiting the specific vulnerability. So I use this figure example again. Suppose a thief or an intruder go inside the house by this broken window, and then afterwards he can install a spy camera to invade or capture information. So this case, spy camera here is payload. So I'd like, there's some different or so many payloads there. Also, we can write our own payload. We can use Python or any other program language to generate the payload. However, the Metasploit is one very famous payload developed by the same company of the Metasploit, which can support the penetration testing process with many valuable components. So such payload or Metasploit payload will be running on the target system and will be acting as an agent and within command and control architecture. For example, by such payload, we can download, can upload, can make a screenshot, control mouse, many different functions depending on the actual payload. Okay, so what is Metasploit? Metasploit framework. This is a framework. It means that this is flexible and very powerful tool, can be used by the hacker or cyber criminal or us like pentester to probe or intrude systematic vulnerabilities on networks or servers. And this is open source framework and can be easily customized and used with most operating systems. So for the Metasploit framework, there's some major components. The first one is MSF console, and later we will use this MSF console a lot. So this will provide the interface for us, for the user. So we can use this to operate the Metasploit framework. The next part would be different types of modules. And for example, like exploit module, for example, like scanner module, payload module. And another one or another component is some sort of tools. The most important tool is MSF Volume. In this video, I will also introduce this technique or tool for you. Okay, and the tools. This is some sort of standalone tools can help vulnerability research, vulnerability assessment, and penetration testing. Okay, so there's some different modules like auxiliary, encoder, evasion, exploit, and the knob. This one would be used for the buffer overflow attack. It means that non-operation and the payload and the post exploitation. And each category has different numbers of modules. Okay, and if you want to get to know how many modules are available, now for the Metasploit framework, we can go into the Linux and we can go to the USR share Metasploit, and we can go to the scripts, not scripts, should go to the, I think should be modules. As you can see, the different categories of modules like auxiliary, encoder, evasion, exploits, nobs, payloads. If we go into the payloads directory, as you can see, also there's some subdirectory like adapters. Yes, CMD. Okay. Oh, so many layers like Linux, HTTP. So this is how Metasploit is organized. Okay, the Metasploit is written in Ruby language, and we can cut out this is some sort of the scripting language. As you can see here, the module, and include, and also the function, and then the name information. Okay. Next, this here. I'd like to give you more detailed information about each category of modules. The first one is auxiliary modules. For example, the login module, the SSH login module falls into this category. We are not to exploit the target, just to perform some auxiliary tasks. And the next one is encoder. Because why do we need encoder? Because nowadays some firewall or antivirus are in place on the target, so we need to have some encoding at hand, and which try to help us evade the security control like antivirus software. And also we have the evasion modules, similar like this one, and this one can provide us the ability to generate evasive payloads, and which can evade antivirus like Windows Defender without having to install external tools. The next category is exploit module. We're trying to exploit or leverage the vulnerabilities. And the next one is NOP. And no operation, it means the no operation generate a sequence of no operation instructions that perform no side effects and always used in conjunction with buffer of buffer overflow attack. And next category is payload modules. Of course, we will cover most of them in this video, and also the post modules after the machine has been compromised and the session, Metasploit session has been opened, and then can perform some tasks like gathering, collecting, enumerating data from the session. Okay. So let's use the Metasploit from now on. So the first step, although this is optional step, we need to configure database. Because why we need to use database? Because this one can speed up our, the Metasploit module searches. Because we cannot remember the exact path of a specific module. Often we need to use search a command to search the modules. And if we use a database, and then this process can be speeded up and also can save our results from the port and the vulnerability scanning. And we can check the status of this database. The Metasploit use the PostgreSQL service on Kali Linux. So let me show you. So how to do? We can sudo systemctl status the post. Yeah, it's that we can we can start. All right, it's started up, and now we can continue. Yeah, we can start up the PostgreSQL service, and we can check the status of the Metasploit database. We can run sudo msfdb and the status help. Okay, it's running. Great. Now we can go ahead, and then we can launch our Metasploit console, the major component of this Metasploit framework. And I'd like to go back to my current working directory, and then we can launch our Metasploit console. Yeah, if you do not use Q option, the banner of the Metasploit would be printed out, and also like such information. If you do not want to print out such information, you can use Q option. Okay, so let me show you. So next, I'd like to use the example. The victim machine is Metasploit 2, and we can, okay, open up another tab. Maybe I can close up the Wireshark because I do not need it anymore. And now I can make the terminal to be bigger so you can see what's going on. So we can do the map with the versions again with option of SV, and the port number is 21. Press enter. Yeah, and we can search the exploit for this version. Yeah, it has backdoor command execution. Even the Metasploit has corresponding module. And then we can, of course, before we try to, try to exploit it manually, for me, I always use the Metasploit as the first choice. Okay, so we can search vs ftpd. And this mod is what we are looking for. And then we can use command and followed by the name or the relative path of this module. And we do not need, you can show payloads, available payloads, just the one available payloads. So then we can, show options to see which kind of fields are required to configure. I think only one is remote host. We need to set it to the target, and then we can run it. As you can see, we got the UID. It looks like it's working. We can find the shell, and then we just give some bit sweet time. Command shell session one opened, so we can run command like even we have already got root shell. Okay, if you don't like this sort of shell, we can spawn the bash session, the bash import pty module and pty spawn method. And as you can see, this is much better than the one we have already got originally. Okay, so now we can move forward. Yeah, I already show you how to use this module, how to search the module, and then we can show payloads, and then we can set the payload, and also can show options. Okay, and then we can set I think in this case just only one field is required to configure remote host, and then we can use the command run or exploit, and then we can get the command shell session. Okay, so I think I've already demonstrated how to use Metasploit to do the exploitation. Okay, so I'd like to background this session, and also you can display the active session by running sessions. If you want to come back to the shell again, we just run sessions with option for I and the session number or ID and press enter. As you can see, we got back the shell. If you want to background this shell, you want to put this shell to the background, we can press the keys Control and Z, and we can yes. So now sessions has been put into the background. Okay. Also, we can use the resource file to launch the Metasploit console. Yeah, let me show you. This one is this technique is very useful when we try to set up the handler, especially the Metasploit as payload. Let me show you. Although, of course, I'd like to, of course, we can configure those commands manually. We can use exploit, multi, and the handler, and we can set the payload to Linux and Linux and x86 and Metasploit and reverse TCP, and then we can set, of course, we can show options, and we can set the payload. We can set the local host to our Linux and set the local port number like 66. So you can configure those commands manually. Also, alternatively, we can put all commands into file. We call it resource file, and then we can launch the Metasploit console by or from the file. Let me show you. I'd like to exit the Metasploit console, so we can, we can win any name. Always I use RC as extension, so we can use exploit multi handler and set a payload to Linux 68 and Metasploit, and then reverse TCP, set local host to our Linux, set port number, local port number to be 555, and then we can run. We can write and quit, and then we can run Metasploit console, and we can use R option met, press enter. If I didn't configure the command improper, and then the handler can be set up as earlier. I think operation no session was failed localhost. Okay, I mistype the localhost, so I like to quit, and then we can edit again. So should be working, or we just put let me do it again. It's a bit imbalancing. Sorry about that. Let's launch it again. It should be working. Unknown. Oh, did you? Oh, sorry. This one. I think I found the error. Sorry about this. Yeah, this one. And right and quit. And then we can launch the Metasploit console again. Hopefully, this time we can get handler failed. Really weird. Why failed? So bind. Oh, sorry. The IP address. What I'm doing. Sorry about that. So I think this is the major reason. I put the wrong IP address. And right and quit. Launch it again. There should be no problem this time. Okay, the reverse TCP handler has started. Okay, I'd like to quit. So just now I show you how to use resource file to launch or run different or several commands automatically. Okay. Next, I'd like to show you another very important utility, MSFVLM. You know, this one is command line to which we can use to generate the different types of payloads. For example, I'd like to show you, this case is DVWA application, and we can go to the command execution, and we can get the the reverse shell, and then we want to upgrade this shell to the Metasploit. Okay, let me show you one by one. Okay, so we can access the application DVWA, and the username is admin, and password is password. Login, and we can set the security level to low. Submit, and go to the command execution. We can run command like we can submit, and we can get the result of the ping. So we can run ID. We can use separator, this separator to run. We want to run the ID command. Submit. We can get the result of the ID command. Next, we want to get the reverse shell. We can get run and port number. And before we hit enter, I need to set up the listener first. And submit. We get the shell, and we can spawn the bash session. pty spawn. Okay, so next I'd like to show you what I'm going to showcase is MSVLM, because we want to spawn the Metasploit session. How to do? We can use MSVLM. Of course, this utility can support so many types of payload. I think thousands of payloads, and you need to choose appropriate one. So how to choose that one? You can go to the Google to make some search. However, the the utility itself can give us the help list. I'd like to use this command. The list dash dash list is equal to payloads, and this command will display all available payloads because we just want to get the Metasploit type payload. So I use grep to filter out, and also I want to get the Linux, so I can press enter. Okay, so many. Oh, it is still difficult to find. I think this one is what we want. Yeah, this one we can copy. If you do not know how to configure MS Vellum, we can use the help, as you can see. And just now I show you this one, list payload, right? And so you want to, if you want to list options, you can use this one. For example, MS Vellum with option of P, and this can, we can specify the payload. If you want to know the options for this payload, we can use list options. As you can see, of course, in most cases we do not need to take care for the advanced options, so we need to pay attention to the basic options. This case is local host and local port number. So now it's time to generate the payload, and we can use the host. It's Kali Linux, and port number. We can use different port number, and the format is ELF. This one is used for the Linux and output to like meta ELF. Okay, it's done. And next we need to upload this payload to the target. And the easiest way is to set up the web server by Python http.server. And then we can go back, we can use wget to upload. And we need to make it executable. And we can run this payload. Before we press enter, we need to set up the handler first. And we can use exploit multi-handler. And we need to set a payload. This payload must be the same as this one. So we just copy this payload and put in here. And we can show options. We need to set localhost to our Kali Linux and set same local port number to 66. And then we can run it. And then the handler has started. So now if we go back to the task shell, we press enter. And I think we can get the Metasploit session. As you can see, wonderful, right? So this is, we can do a lot. For example, like get UID, sysinfo, a lot of functions which are provided by the Metasploit payload. Okay, so let's go ahead. I've already demonstrated these steps one by one. And generate Metasploit payload. I just now I show you how to get the help. For example, like available payloads and also available options for specific payload, because we cannot remember everything, right? And so now we have already created the payload and then upload the payload to the target and need to make it executable. And then, we can use wget to upload. And we'll need to start the handler on the Kali Linux. And then we can get the Metasploit session. If you want to see available commands for the Metasploit we just run help, many powerful commands. As you can see over here, like bg, like run resource. If the target machine has camera, we can open camera, and also, listen, save the audio, and also can kill process. So very powerful payload. We do not need to write. I think it would be very difficult for us to write such a payload. Okay, so now we can go ahead and we can background the session. I've already demonstrated this before. We just press the keys Control and Z, and now we can run sessions. We only one session, Metasploit session. If you want to get back to the Metasploit, just option of I and the ID, session ID, and as you can see, we got the Metasploit. If we want to get the command shell, we just run shell. As you can see, we can run command as normal shell. Okay, so that's all I'd like to do in this video. See you in the next video. Bye.